Hello, my name is Brian. I am a coach at Titanium Training. I'm here to tell you how your exercise protocol is going to work for today. Is that professional enough? Cool! Now let's get on with the real shit. Alright. So, here's what you guys got going on today. What you have is you have 2 sections of exercise with a fun 4-minute finisher at the end. That's how we're going to start our Monday. So, what you have first, you have 3 exercises. It's 4 rounds for the top exercise and 3 rounds for the bottom 2. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then you do 1 more round of the top exercise. You're going to do 8 each side, so the goal is to go as heavy as you can or slow down the tempo, which is something that you could do in order to increase the difficulty of the exercise. We'll talk about that more when we actually describe the exercises to you. You have 15 total and then 10 each side. So you do 8, 15, and then 10 each side, and then 8, and then 15, and then for your round numbers, and then you go from there. The next section of exercise, you have the same basic vault rules applying today. What you have is you have 3 exercises. You have 4 rounds worth of work, and then you have 3, and then you 3. So you do 1, 2, 3, and then you have 1 more for that top exercise. Same thing, we're going to go as heavy as we can for that top exercise without losing form, or we'll slow down the tempo in order to make sure that you stay good inside of the exercise throughout the entire course of motion. The last thing you guys have after that is you have 2 exercises. It's 4 rounds worth of work, 40 seconds work with a 20-second break. Now, you can do this one of 2 ways. As a general rule, I usually suggest just the one way, so let's just stay with the one way because it's easier to deal with. So, you're going to do 1 exercise, you're going to do it for 40 seconds, take a 20-second break, and then you're going to do the next exercise, 40 seconds, take a 20-second break, and that's round 1. You're going to go back, do it again, exercise 40, take that 20, exercise 40, take that 20, that's 2. You're going to do that a total of 4 times. That is your exercise protocol for the first aspect of work. So you have 2 sections of actual strength work, and then you have your fun little cardio finish towards the end. That's what you have going on there. And like I said, I'll explain in detail how everything else works when we talk about your exercises. Are you ready? All right, let's go. Hey everybody, it's daytime at Titanium Training, and during the day I like to tell you about what's happening inside of our business. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about your exercise program. We're going to talk about the exercises that you have to perform, and as always, I'm going to show you all the way from body weight through resisted or resisted to body weight, whichever pattern I decide to go with. And then from there, we will talk about all the fun and frivolity that is your exercise protocol. So let's talk about section 1. So inside of section 1, you have 3 exercises. With those 3 exercises, here's exercise number 1. The first thing you have is a single arm floor press. So you're going to grab whatever implement that you have, whether it be a dumbbell or a kettlebell or a small bag or a suitcase or a dog or a baby or a fern or something else fun like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lay down on the ground. So you're going to lay down on the ground, bang, bang, laying down on the ground. So the idea is when you're doing the single arm floor press, what you want to do is you want to start from the bottom, okay? So you're going to have whatever is in that hand, you're going to let that elbow touch the ground. And then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to push straight up, keeping your elbow and wrist below the bottom part of your rib cage, and then back down. So you're going to do 8 on one side, you're going to stop, switch it out, same thing, elbow, wrist, 8 on the other side. The thing about this exercise is, what I want you guys to make sure that you're doing is you're letting that elbow touch the ground for a full stop, and then from there, you push back up. So it's down, full stop, and then back up. Down, full stop, and then back up. 8 on one side, 8 on the other side. The next thing you have is you're going to drop the weight, and then you're going to do open, close crunches. So with open, close crunches, feet out. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have showed you. Oh no, most everybody can do it. So if you don't have any weight, that's okay. Just take a second, squeeze through the chest, and then you're going to press up, and then let it back down. Press through the chest. Like I said, that's if you have no weights at all. So the next thing you're going to do is open, close crunch. Now let's talk about the open, close crunch. So you're going to start with your hands above your head, legs extended, back completely flat on the ground. And then what you're going to do is you're going to bring your elbows to knees and then back out. Elbows to knees, and then back out. If that hurts your back at all, or like I said, you start feeling your back come off the ground, please land your feet. Same thing, hands up, knees up, and then bring your knees back down. The big thing about this exercise is make sure you feel it in your abdominal region. That's where you want to get the majority of your contraction. Now from here, what you're going to do is you're going to do a bird dog. What's a bird dog? Well, I'm going to tell you what the bird dog is. So, man, my head's so heavy today. So, with the bird dog, what you're going to do is you're going to get back up, and you're on your hands and knees for this one. So, hands and knees. What you're going to do is you're going to point one arm forward, and then the opposite leg backward, and then back down. Opposite arm, opposite leg, and then back down. Opposite arm, opposite leg, and then back down. If that's too much to do from the ground, you can always elevate your position. Do it from the push-up position, same thing. Hands on a bench, or on the wall, or on a couch. Opposite arm, opposite leg, back down. Opposite arm, opposite leg, and back down. Those are your first 3 exercises. Focus on that exercise section first. So remember, it's 3 of everything, and then it's 1 more of the single arm floor press. So with the single arm floor press, you're either going to slow the tempo with the weight that you have, or you're going to pick up a heavier weight than you normally would, and then do 8. Remember, let that elbow touch the ground, and then press once the elbow has touched the ground. So focus on those exercises. When you're done with that, then we'll talk about the next section and go from there. Okay, now that you're done with section 1, let's talk about section 2. Yeah, section 2. So, what you're going to do first is you're going to do single leg deadlift. This can be done with or without weight, so let's show you how it works. So, the first exercise that you have, like I said, is a single leg deadlift. So, what you're going to do is you're going to start with your feet between hip and shoulder width apart, okay? So this is kind of what it looks like from the front. Now, what I want you to do from here, so we're going to show you from the side, what I want you to do from here is you're actually just going to making sure that you keep your knees in line. So your knees should be not necessarily next to each other, but in the same position over here in front of your body. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to prop that foot back, keeping your knees in the same place, disengaging that specific side. So when you pick that foot up, the idea is to disengage the side. So then what you're going to do is the hand with the weight is the foot that goes back, and then what you're going to do is you're going to bend over, and then stand up. Bend over, and then stand up. Doing 8 on one side, switching it out. Same thing, 8 on the other side. Once you've done those, and the next thing we're going to focus on after that, oh, sorry, if you do not have weight, I apologize, I'm just rushing. I'm just like running through all this for no reason. Like I don't have time. Anyway, I'm just trying to rush. Anyway, so if you guys don't have weight, what you can do anytime you do a hip hinging motion, like a deadlift or a swing, you can always reach forward, pushing your hips back, and then stand up straight. Because every time you do that, you are increasing how much tension is on the back end of the exercise. So that's your single leg deadlift. The next thing you're going to do after that is the windmill. Why? Because windmills are awesome, and it's actually more about mobility and less about weight with the windmill. That's the biggest reason why I put them in there, because it really is just about the mobility of the hip through the outside, not so much even the inside, honestly speaking. So, with the windmill, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be turning your feet to the side. So if the weight is in my right hand, I turn my feet to the right. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my hand straight down between my feet, and then I'm going to push my hip backwards, away, and then back up. So it's down, and then back up. Like I said, this can be done with or without weight. Honestly, because it's a mobility drill, you don't need to put a whole bunch of weight onto it, because like I said, it's about the mobility of your hip area. So you're going to do 3 sets, 10 on each side. So it's 10 to the right, switch your feet out, 10 to the left. And remember, as you bend down, hands between your knees, you're going to push your hip backwards in order to make sure you feel it through the oblique, the piriformis, the glute medius, and right here, whatever this quadricep, I can't remember which one, I don't know. I just don't know. So what you're going to do is, like I said, you should feel a stretch here, here, and then through here. If you feel a little bit on the inside of the leg, that's okay too, because like I said, sometimes the psoas muscle and certain other muscles on the inside of the leg and inside of the hip and the groin area will get stretched out as well. So, focusing on the 3 sets, 10 on each side of that. Once you're done with that, the next thing you have is the single arm clean. This one I'm going to show you with weight. How many videos have I done and I still don't put weights in my hands? I feel ridiculous. Why? Anyway, I'll be right back. Just hang out. Okay. So, now that we've done with that and my ridiculous nature of always forgetting to put weights in these videos, I don't know why I don't try to set this up. I'm always flying by the seat of my Bahamas. I don't get it. Anyway, so with the clean, I always show everybody the dumbbell because it is the easiest to control, or it's the easiest way to control the weight throughout the entire motion. So, here's what you guys got going on here. What you're doing is, with the single arm clean, you're going to start feet between hip and shoulder width apart. Now with the dumbbell, what you're going to do is you're going to go between the knees to start. So the hand is between your knees, and then from here you're pushing your hips forward, raise the dumbbell, and you're bringing it to the shoulder level. That's as far as you're going. So it's between the knees to the shoulder, between the knees and to the shoulder. With a little bit of swing in the hip in order to help you get it from there up to here. You're going to do 10 on one side, switch it out, same thing, 10 on the other side. Once you guys are done with those 3 exercises, then we move on to the next section. So as a repeat, just so you know, so you have 4 of the first exercises, 4 sets, 8 on each side for the single leg deadlift, then it's 3 sets, 10 on each side for the windmill, then 3 sets, 10 on each side for the single arm clean. Lots of hip work inside of that second section of work. Let's focus on that. Once you get done with that, then we go on to the finisher. Boop. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to finish with your exercise program for today. Now it's time to burn it down. A little extra cardiovascular to be done. So with this, as always, you guys can put a timer on your phone, or you can get the analog clock. Like I said, you can use any clock you want, and all you're trying to do is time out 40 seconds work with a 20-second break. So however you decide to do that is completely up to you. I usually suggest just getting a timer on your phone because it's so much easier. It usually has a noise, so it'll let you know when to start and when to stop. And remember, you have 2 exercises for 4 rounds worth of work. So you are technically doing, was that 2, 4, 6, you basically have about 8 minutes in there. Because like I said, you're going to do mountain climbers for 40 seconds, take a 20-second break, and then you're going to do jumping jacks for 40 seconds, take a 20-second break, and that's round 1. That's like 2 minutes, I'm sorry, it's like 4 minutes. No, 2, 4, 6, that makes sense. Yeah, it's like 8 minutes roughly. So what you have is you have mountain climbers first. Mountain climbers can be done in multiple different positions. I'm going to show you 3 of the positions as a general rule, all the way from the ground to a full stand. So the first thing you have is, like I said, you're doing it from the ground. So it's hands on the ground in the push-up position. And then it's one leg at a time, up, 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 for 40 seconds. The next position you have after that is actually grabbing a bench or a chair or a couch. And then what you're going to do is you're doing it like this. So you're moderately elevated. Let's pull this bench in the way here. And then what you're going to do, same thing, is just up, 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 mountain climber for 40 seconds. Or you have the third position, which, like I said, is like full stand. And all you're doing is just high knees for 40 seconds. Those are your 3 different positions of the mountain climber. Now, you want to make those difficult in any one of those 3 positions, you can always increase the pace of your feet. So it's almost like you're running in place. Now on to jumping jacks. Jumping jacks, honestly, there's only like 2 different variations we do as a general rule. The first of the 2 variations is the full-blown variation. So it's just hands up, ba-bum, 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 for 40 seconds. Okay? Once you've done that, If you can't do that, like it hurts your back, knees, or anything like that, you can always just extend a foot, side to side, extend that foot, now side to side. Extend that foot, side to side, extend that foot, side to side. Okay, that's pretty much it, guys. That is your full-blown workout for today. That's how you're going to finish off everything. 40 seconds work, 20 seconds rest, per 4 total rounds of work. Thank you guys, as always, for participating in the Fun for Body that is our exercise protocol at this moment. What I want you to do from this point is I want you to like it, comment on it, and share it. I want you to share it with your friends. I want you to put it on Facebook. I want you to put it on Instagram. Tag yourself or tag us with a picture of you either doing the workout, done with the workout, showing everybody what you guys are doing while we are in this current position. I thank you guys very much for participating in all this fun. Like I said, and like I'm probably going to repeat for a very, very long time, we are doing everything we can in order to make sure that we are providing you everything that you need in this time to allow you to continue being a better you. Our job here at the studio is to make sure you are working better, moving better, feeling better, looking better, and doing better so you can be better. Thank you guys. Love all y'all. Let me know if you guys need anything. You guys have my phone number. You have a way to direct message me if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns on anything. Until then, enjoy your workout. Much love.